Hey guys, how we doing?
Morning, everyone,
Joe here.
and Kevin.
So we're getting close to the end of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yeah,
Very
bittersweet
sad
on
about it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too. This is one of our earliest shows. Our earliest, of course, is Schitt's Creek, and we're getting
Yeah,
kind of close to the end of both of them.
I know.
We'll finish this one first. But I mean, we've watched other shows that have ended,
No, sure.
but they were very short run shows. Fleabag and Ted Lasso were two really short run shows.
Even Succession, that's 4 seasons, and we just
Right,
banged it out.
right. Just shorter shows, right?
This one's close to us though because this is the show I feel like we really truly know nothing about at all. And
We did know
a
anything
little
about this.
skeptical in the beginning, but honestly, this has been one of the most satisfying shows that we've done.
Yeah, I remember when we watched the pilot, we were so pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
because we watched it on a recommendation from
We did.
viewers on Schitt's Creek.
Shout out to you guys for that.
Right, yeah, and we were very pleasantly surprised with how fun the pilot was, and uh, and the show went on that way. Definitely challenged us at times on our own, like
As good TV should. It should
no,
challenge.
absolutely. It's like at what point does your dismissiveness of someone's behavior overshadow your empathy for them?
Yeah.
And I think everyone has to find that line, right? It's a
Yeah.
different line for everybody because we can all agree, and they've said in the show, someone's behavior is kind of based on their past and their experiences, and sometimes it's
Yeah.
an unfair, terrible experience they've had. At the same time, people need to be accountable for their behavior too, and the show said that as well.
Yeah,
Remember the song Rebecca and Nathaniel's song of nothing we do is our fault, which is ironic. They were being ironic, of
Yeah.
course, because you have to be able to take responsibility for your actions, regardless of who you are and what your circumstances are. And those are really fine lines that are tough to walk.
It's definitely an interesting theme. I mean, what defines a monster? What makes a monster?
Right. And
who's-
where does our compassion start and
Yeah.
stop for people? For sure.
How does somebody redeem themselves?
Right.
It's like Succession kind of it made the line where it's like, okay, these people are irredeemable, right?
Right. It makes you think, we still, when we watched the first season of Mad Men, which has been, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
At least, right? I'm
It's a
still,
year. I think it's been like a year.
people are still catching in season one when I kind of rip on Ayn Rand and like, you dumb idiot libtards need to get over your wokeness.
Yeah.
And like, Ayn Rand's philosophy was compassion is for losers. I'm sorry, I'm not
Yeah.
changing my mind that I don't agree or like that. And I think that's what this show is. It's like where how compassionate can you be for somebody else, even when they're just like driving you up a wall?
I know, and it's like, fun fact, guys. Our original name was the Libtarb Channel.
Yeah, exactly, right.
But no, you're right. Like this show
These
is.
two cucks.
I know, right? Yeah. Literally, we've heard it all.
Oh yeah.
Not from you guys on Patreon. You guys on Patreon are fantastic.
Right.
And you YouTubers are great too. Like we appreciate you being here. But no, you're right. This show really is an exercise in empathy and a true redemption arc. Who doesn't love the underdog story?
Right. Well, and the payoff's been great. Like for me, I know people have disagreed with me, but my favorite season has been the fourth season because now we're seeing the payoff of all of Rebecca's hard work
No, sure.
and her friends' hard work, and the payoffs for staying close to her.
Yeah.
Like there were times Paula and Josh should have run screaming from Rebecca forever, right? Greg should have run screaming from Rebecca forever.
Everybody should.
Right, absolutely. Or at least it would have been, maybe not should, but would have been justified.
Yeah.
And now they're getting the benefits of like hanging in there with her, and like when she's done the work, to better herself and be more cognizant of her behavior and why she's behaving how she is and why she's feeling how she is. She's a great person once you get through all of it. She really is.
She really is commendable. Honestly, look at all if you outweigh the good and the bad,
right?
And that's what season 4 has been. It's been truly.
It's been once you get through somebody's garbage, sometimes there's actually a person worth caring about underneath.
It's like Ebenezer Scrooge.
Love it. Do you want to welcome a couple more Patreon subscribers the last couple days, guys? Excuse me, Mackenzie Addington, Sydney Moncrief, Lisa, Magic, and Jim Miller. Thanks so much, guys, and welcome. We are very glad you're with us.
We really are. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you don't mind hitting the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please, please, please hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we have coming your way.
Yeah. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. Still confusion here. You will have to watch on your own streaming service or source material. You will not see or hear any of the show over there because we're doing the whole show. That means we'd be violating copyright if we shared the whole show. I got some pretty some pretty angry messages in the last couple of days from someone who doesn't understand that. You're only going to see and hear us.
This is not the dark web.
Exactly. Sorry, we're obligated to follow copyright laws. We're also watching 30 Rock right now, the Patreon exclusive, and it is grand.
It'd be kind of fun if we did like a live stream from jail.
Right. Sorry, guys. We've been put in the YouTube jail. Right.
I don't know, man. Sounds like you love her.
Oh,
no.
shut up,
God.
Jim.
Nothing's going on with us whatsoever. I mean, sure, she's completely adorable 24/7, and yes, we did have a massage moment the other night that almost got out of hand, but she's seeing
Oh
someone.
my gosh.
I feel like for Josh, the right thing to do is be like, we've been down that road.
Yeah,
Better Rebecca or not, we've been down that road.
she's my friend.
She's my friend.
Help her.
We have very much decided that this is the way we're going to go.
I've helped friends snake their drains before
Right.
too. It's
How have the antidepressants made you feel so far?
Well, it's only been a week, so I know it takes a while for them to kick in, but honestly, very tired. Look, I've always been afraid of going on antidepressants, but also, it kind of feels like a cop-out to me.
No.
I feel a little ashamed.
I understand why you feel that way, but
That's why you're
I
there.
would ask
Wow.
you to interrogate that feeling.
This is La La Land. This is very much like the opening song in La La Land.
Look at the colors too.
Yeah.
They're all-
Don't feel bad about yourself
Thank
because you
so
need
much
help.
for covering
Right?
for me while I've been in the hospital with Paula. And I'm sorry if I'm yawning a lot. I'm still getting used to my new
seen AJ in a
antidepressants.
while.
I love being the chosen custodian of your dream.
You should think Rebetzels is my dream.
Because of those shirts, Rebetzels, take a bite out of my dream. If you've got another dream, you might want to get on it. Life is short.
No,
And you're not young.
that's bad advice.
Oh.
Is she going to spiral because of that offhanded comment
I
now?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not forget AJ's younger.
Yeah. Rebecca's 30, which means she's old.
Are you sure you want to take the bar exam right now? You can do it next time.
Yeah, you just got your heart sliced up like a melon a week ago.
Guys, they only give the bar exam twice a year. And if I have learned anything from this horrible heart attack experience, I have no time to
It's a terrible
waste.
thing
The
to take
doctor's
away from
coming
that.
in
I
to
know.
tell me when I can get out. And where is my doctor anyway?
Mrs. Proctor, you look great and you've had a very quick recovery, but we should stick to you leaving as scheduled, okay? I'll be back first thing tomorrow morning to sign you out.
I was thinking about going down to the cafeteria to grab a coffee if you want to.
Yeah, let's do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah. Hey, man. Hey, Greg. You here to visit Paula?
Yeah.
Ah.
These two
Got it.
guys should be friends.
They should. I love their little bro day
I do
they had.
too. Yeah.
Bring flowers?
No, I was here to talk to Rebecca. And flowers are already dying by the time you buy them, so you're basically handing a loved one a bag of remains.
You've all been exposed to a very rare and super contagious strain of squirrel flu.
What?
Do we know each other?
Oh, little bit.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Great. Well, you're about to spend some quality time together.
I knew this would happen. He should have been here 30 minutes ago. All the other students are sharpening pencils and knocking back Adderall, and I'm just sitting here.
I know.
Just wanted to let you know.
Most
Dr.
people,
Rutt's
or at least a
finishing
lot
up
of
the
people,
surgery.
don't pass it the first
Finally.
time.
And he'll be back
It
this
wouldn't be the
afternoon to
worst
sign
thing
your
if she
release.
went and took it.
Wait,
No,
this afternoon?
They didn't pass it. It has taken 6
that
months
is
anyway.
I don't know why that shot's so funny, but it's a really good shot.
It is,
Guys,
yeah.
I can't sit in this awkward silence anymore, okay?
Is it just because we dated the same girl? No, there might be bumpy stuff in your relationship, moments where she got an ATV and went off road, but
You gotta tell him.
then there's nothing to be awkward about. Right, Josh?
You came back to town and didn't tell me? You came back to West Covina from Atlanta and saw other people when you were back? Like,
Great.
What are you looking for?
Nothing. Nada. Oh, wow. April, hi.
Hello, Chloe. Madison.
Oh, they know each other?
You could say that.
Oh. Their daughters are nemesis.
I knew this would happen. Where is the damn doctor? Just gonna walk out?
Wait, Paul, if you leave without a signed release, insurance could refuse to pay for the entire procedure.
Is that true?
Are we really just gonna stand here while Paula is forced to postpone her dream so that some doctor can save a life? We got a big old breakout on our hands.
What? No, I've been exfoliating diligently.
She meant break out of the hospital.
Yeah.
It's not worth it if you're running the risk of like, hey, you owe $150,000 in surgery bills.
It's not cheap.
No.
Just sit tight, lady. Come on.
Besides, the odds that you have to take the bar a second time are so high anyway.
Exactly.
So girls don't get along.
Yeah, I got a hint of that.
So I guess they won't be doing any play dates or.
You mean us. You're talking about us. Yeah, we can't hang out. This is a bummer.
It's so hard to meet someone, and this feels easy.
And kids get over things.
Yeah.
How many kid is happy when their mom or dad who's divorced starts dating somebody
My
else?
best friend in the whole wide world punched me in the head when we were in 5th grade. Love the guy.
No one notices a thing. Then we sneak her back in after she's taken the bar. But first, I'm gonna nap, just no longer than 45 minutes because I'm so tired.
We had gotten past all that, and then
Yeah, where did that car come from?
I know, right? Yeah.
2 years.
In a
You
vintage
were
car.
with Rebecca and engaged to her. I didn't call her when I came back to town either.
No. Your actions have made me feel judged, which is quite unfair because I have never judged you, ever.
Josh. Okay, guys, let's stay positive.
Paula's getting out today. We can just see her at home. Why are we still here?
No reason.
You want to see April. But if you want to spend time with her, you should. Chloe and I will get over ourselves.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you, Madison.
April is just a nice lady I met in a waiting room, and that is all.
But maybe she's your person, and if you don't spend time with her, you'll never know.
She's in the basement of the hospital.
Yikes.
Basement? No.
This poor guy died 2 days short of his 30th birthday.
Oh.
Young. Probably thought he had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, come on, let's get Paula out of here. She can still make the bar exam if we hurry.
Yeah.
You don't deserve Rebecca.
I'm sorry, what?
You heard me. Look, I've had my issues with Rebecca over the years, but I was always nice to her. You were a dick to her.
So sweet of you to leave her at the altar. Really nice
Right?
of you to join the priesthood and not even let her know. Honestly,
Yeah, that's all
I am
fair.
shocked she even talks to you.
Oh, please, yes. A fight dance?
Right.
Let's do it. He said, well, I don't know.
Right.
That's great.
I lost my phone. Have you guys seen it?
Oh, no, but we'll take a look for it.
Aww.
Folks, you've been exposed to a rare flu. Come with me.
Have a fun
Wasn't that-
quarantine.
You lock the doors where
enjoy
the kid
spending
is.
lots- Good job. Hey, you too. Hey, should we gram this moment?
Should we grab?
I'll gram your tact. Let's just start there.
The opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference.
I agree
You
with
guys
that.
fought.
That's
I think
very
that's true,
insightful,
yeah.
So we're not best friends anymore, but we're still bros, right?
Yeah, man. Bros.
I think that this was the best day of my life. A heist and a long legal exam.
The way that you've gone after your dream, just unabashed, I don't think I would have the courage to do that.
You have Rebetzels. What, you're not happy at Rebetzels?
I am. Theater always keeps coming up in my life. Just the other day, I fooled 2 medical professionals into thinking that I was dead. And I really
thought
took
you
on
were
the role,
asleep.
you know?
I thought the thing with her character is that Rebecca can't actually sing,
Yeah, well,
right?
I mean, well, not everybody can sing.
No, I agree, but if that's what she wants to do is musical theater, you
Start
should be able to sing, yeah.
Start practicing.
So after we fought, I felt really abandoned, which is a major trigger for me. And I got really drunk. I'm so sorry.
I'm glad she's being honest about it,
Yeah.
but
I just
this is asking a lot of Greg, too,
we
though.
started
It
dating,
is.
and I got really behind on my mental health stuff. Needed to take a beat now before I get into anything serious.
Yeah, I would
All
say
fair,
so.
yeah.
Yep. We really like each other. That's the hard part about
It
this,
is.
man. Like, it's
But I just think the idea, the point is that Rebecca's just not ready, and I think she's
know.
finally seeing that she's not ready to be in a relationship. And the fact that Josh is seeing this as an opportunity makes me not like Josh right now.
well, okay. I wonder if this is gonna be like a rotating door situation where it's like, nope, Josh gets one more chance, and then
Right.
Daniel gets one more chance, and it's like
I don't know, but I think that Josh had that vulture,
He
that
did,
swoop in thing that
yes.
guys sometimes do,
Yeah.
and girls. Like people sometimes get that. Oh, you just became single. This is
The
my opportunity to
opportunist,
swoop.
yeah,
Yeah.
Rebecca and I, we're just friends again. It didn't work out. Oh, man. I'm sorry.
let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right. So the fight dance song. Awesome.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
So it's really funny because every time you see like adults fighting in real life, it can be scary, I guess, but like
Yeah, because injuries happen so much easier. Like
they do.
People don't get punched in the face, knocked out, and they're fine 15 minutes later. That's not how the
Well,
human brain works.
If they're like really about it, I guess, like if
Right.
they like have some kind of training, then it's like, oh my god, this is horrifying.
Right.
But if it's just 2 idiots at the bar
Sure.
that are like doing that and fighting,
Yeah, when they're like slap hug fighting,
it's
sure.
kind of funny. You know, you're kind of in the background like, ha ha ha. But
Yeah.
but this was great because I love how they kept like cutting back to like the movie fights.
Right.
It's just these two idiots like
It's totally true. Like even like I love Rocky, and like the first like 4 Rocky movies, I really like them a lot. But you watch them, it's like I've watched real boxing, and dudes miss like 70% of the time they throw a punch. But in
Any
the
boxing
movies,
movie.
right? But in
Any
the boxing movie, every punch lands. It gets
so
it gets
boring.
blocked, ducked, or lands.
Yeah.
No one just misses because they're too far away.
Yeah.
Which is what happens in every boxing match most of the time.
No, for sure, and like because it's strategy.
It's all strategy.
It
They
is
call
a
it the
sport.
sweet science for a reason. It's
Exactly.
strategy, yeah.
Like a lot of my friends back in the day when oh my gosh, it was the McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fight.
Right.
So many people that know anything about it were like bored. And they were
Sure.
like, it was disappointing. I'm like, was it? I mean, I feel like it was pretty standard. It was about what would you expect? Like a brawl?
I think it. I do. I really do. I think
Yeah.
people watch movie fighting and like the big boxing match. Like when I was a little kid, it was Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield.
Sure.
It was like this is going to be amazing, and it's like it wasn't.
That's why like good boxing movies like they'll cut to like round 3 because
Right.
like they skip past like all the dance of it really.
Yeah, but in reality, if Apollo Creed or Rocky Balboa took 100 shots, actual shots in the
So
face,
much CTE.
like they did in the movies, it's like neither one of those guys is getting up after the 4th round.
Oh my god, no, their faces
Right.
be so swelled up.
Yeah, they just be hamburger. Right. Yeah.
So I like that it's commenting on that. The show
Sure.
comments on a lot of things you don't expect it to.
Of course. I love how tongue in cheek everything is as far as like the show is a parody of the romantic comedy crap tropes, right?
Yes.
About how everything isn't fun and works out, right? And the quirky guy and the quirky girl who should have been together all along and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that they take other stuff where it's like they remember the Swim Fan episode, right?
Yeah.
They look at all kinds of tropes in popular culture, which let's face it, expectations from popular culture really can screw with your head on what you think your life is supposed to be.
I know. We shouldn't forget that it's a formula,
Right.
and it works for a reason because it sells. Everything you
Of
see on
course.
TV is being sold to you. You know.
I looked it up. This reminds me. I looked it up the other day. In fact, there are about between like Lifetime and Hallmark, and there's about 75 new Christmas movies a year on those channels.
They really are.
Seriously, 75. And of course, they're all the same tropes, right?
Yep.
Oh, we're not going to have a Christmas. Oh, wait, I guess we are.
No.
And we'll fall in love.
And it's fine.
It's fine.
It's totally fine. If you like it, you like it. It's made for you.
Right. It's made for that.
Not real life.
Yeah, it's not
real life.
You shouldn't watch it for real life. But I think that's kind of what this show gets at is sometimes our expectations for our real life are formed by the garbage stories we hear as kids, right? People have, and I think accurately pointed out that like Disney princess culture actually hasn't been good for little girls growing up and their
No, it
expectations of what
No.
their lives and their romances and that kind of stuff is going to be. And boys, it's kind of the same thing, right? Toxic masculinity is a learned trait. And we get it from not only the adults in our lives often too much, but the movies and the TV shows that we watch. We learn what being a man is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you learn it in such skewed, incorrect ways because it sells movies and television shows.
Yeah. It's changing a little bit now. I think
it is. It is. We're more aware of it for sure.
Now it's like being a man is like Captain America.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's okay.
But it is changing for the better. And
I agree.
And some of these movies are bona fide classics as long
Sure.
as you can separate the reality from the fiction, from the story being.
Of course, Rocky is a great movie.
Awesome.
It is one of the all-time great films, but it's not a realistic, And if you watch, sidebar on that, if you watch it now, Rocky's pursuit of Adrian has some creepy, problematic. Come sit by me on the couch while she's trying to get out the door elements to it. That I'm like, oh, bro.
So I think it's obviously I think it's a fantastic film. But
It
at
is.
the same time, did not age well. Not even
Did
my
not age
favorite,
well,
Not even
right.
my favorite Rocky movie. Rocky 3.
Rocky 3 was, I think, honestly, the first one I saw when I was a kid because it was. I just caught it on television
Mr.
one
T,
time, and Mr. T and. Outside of all the other Rocky movies, that one is like a straight up action movie.
It's awesome.
And as a kid, it is so much fun.
It made me want to go run on the beach.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
it's so much fun. And like, who's this Apollo guy that he's friends with? And why haven't they been friends before? What's going on?
It's awesome. You know
No,
what I
it's great. And wasn't that Hulk Hogan in that one too?
He was in that movie.
In the Robot, or was the Robot 4?
Robots 4.
The Bad Robots 4.
It's fall around here, so I'm going to do my Rocky rewatch here pretty soon.
Yeah.
But like, you're right. And the show is poking fun at that trope so well.
Very well, right.
And nobody else is really doing that or doing it successfully. I mean, you have
Not as
parodies.
well.
This isn't really like a straight up parody.
This is I feel like parody is a form of satire, and a legitimate one, right? But I feel like we've cheapened parody over the last 30 years or so into like the scary movies and
it's not the Zucker
date
brothers.
movie, which are pretty surface, right? There's really not much to them other than catch the pop culture reference. It's Britney Spears. Oh, I get that one. Whatever. But this one is parody, but in a way that like is making a point as far as a social message.
Sure. And we need more of that.
I agree.
We live in weird times, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's okay to be able to look at something and say this thing that we've all fallen into forever isn't a thing we necessarily should be pursuing.
No, and TV and movies have always been used to sell things, not even just a way of life, but it's cigarettes.
Right.
We talk about that in Mad Men. You know, I mean, John Wayne, Humphrey Bogart, all these guys that used to get paid by cigarette companies to smoke cigarettes in movies, so people were like, "Oh, I want to be like that guy." You know,
right? That kind of reminds me. This has been many years, but I saw a discussion of Gone with the Wind, and honestly, I'm not sure I've ever seen the entire movie all the way through. Right, but it was a lot of sociologists saying the stuff that happens in this movie is not actually okay. You know, the trope that used to be a thing, right, of a man grabbing a woman and he's just sure loves him, but she's like very angry and grabs and forcibly kisses and she fights for a second, but then kind of melts into it. I'm like, that is assault. You know,
it was what used to be romantic isn't anymore.
Yeah, that's not romantic.
So I rewatched Empire Strikes Back recently on a date, and I was like, "Oh, I love Han Solo and Leia," and she's like, "Do you?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Just watch the movie." And like, it's the scene when they're in the hall, and he's like, "I'm a nice man," and she's like, "You're not a nice man," and like forces himself on her.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "Oh."
Right. Yeah. Consent's for weaklings in Hollywood.
There's no consent.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like that Gone with the Wind, like that. There's that one scene that culminates with him like literally carrying her up to the bedroom while he's fighting him.
I know.
To. You know, the bad words,
the bad words,
right? Yeah, that we can't say on YouTube.
And I like that this is just the opposite of that. Like
for sure, it highlights.
You can like these things, but at the same time recognize that
they're not like. Yeah. The way this show handles, like like I said, princess culture or romantic comedy culture. Rebecca's expectations for what a happy life is going to be when she comically stumbles into the old boyfriend and gets back together and everything's perfect, and that is not at all. There are consequences. There, she toyed with Valencia's relationship because that happens in rom-coms, right? And doesn't even take into account that she's actually hurting Valencia, until later. That there are actual consequences for bad behavior,
or even the whole the Three Musketeers, their whole thing where they were stuck in the room together, and like you think they solved something,
and they didn't.
They didn't at all.
Nope.
Nathaniel is almost the worst of all of them because he's back there scheming the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
fake insightful.
Right. Yeah, it's like, oh, we're bros, but as soon as your girlfriend's gone, I'm going to worm my way right in there. And it's like that is not being a friend to Rebecca or to Greg.
We all know that guy too. We all know him.
Of course, the guy that kind of hangs around. Wouldn't that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Isn't that how Jay Sebring was described? By he's like he's waiting for Roman Polanski to mess up, and then he's going to swoop in and be there.
Back in,
and that's why he's always hanging around with them.
She had a type.
Yeah, she had a type. Talented young guys that look like 13-year-old boys.
Steve McQueen never stood a chance.
If you have not watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, do so. It is an amazing.
Do yourself a favor.
I feel like heading towards the end of this the series on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend here. This is an exceptionally underrated show.
Yeah, and the men are going to have some hiccups, and
we're about to see them too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you in the next one, guys.